Hey, Hot Garbage Squad, welcome back to another Siege video. As you guys can see right now, we are in the lead, but this video, I'm going to teach you how to Siege farm. So if you want to learn how to get rewards like this, let me show you. Boom. I'm going to teach you in this video. So I have an agenda written on my phone. So let me just reference it of what we'll be talking about today. We're going to talk about the history of siege farming and then how to properly siege farm. So that includes the requirements to siege farm, how you want to place your towers, like the setup, like these blue towers, as you can see, the setup there, the strategy that you want to employ, and also when you face other strong guilds, what you want to do, and also touch upon things like Labyrinth and Guild War because of you may think that you don't get to do it, but really you do. So let's start off with a brief introduction to the history of siege farming. So when Siege first got released, the first initial version, okay, this was the type of rewards that you can get in theory, the maximum reward. So screenshot I'm about to show you, this was really the early stages of Siege. 3k crystals and almost 5k GP per siege, okay? That's per siege. How that worked was if you kicked anybody from your guild, you get all the contribution back. So if you had 30% contribution and you kicked everyone out, you have 100% at the end. So the maximum rewards you receive at that point of siege was 3k all to yourself. And then Comtos nerfed that so that after the first nerf, the second iteration of Siege was everyone can receive 30% cap and then it decreases from there. So essentially, basically, in a nutshell, you have 3 Siege farmers. Every Siege farmer received 1k crystal each. So that's 1k plus 1k plus 1k equals 3k in total for rewards. So that got nerfed, which brings us to the present day. If you look at the rewards here from this this picture, if you look at the 30% in the bottom column, you'll see under G1, if you rank first, 420 crystals. So I will include the link about the total rewards here and what rank you get in an Excel sheet below my description. So check that out. But look at this. This is the most recent reward I got, 420 crystals and 1.6k GP. So I'm going to teach you in this guide how to get crystals like this through siege farming. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by Dragon Champions. Dragon Champions back at it again, sponsoring a new video. This game is very similar to Summer's War with awesome collectibles and grind. They got 50 plus characters with PvP and PvE content. Alright, Hard Garbage Squad, have you checked it out yet? If not, check this out. I'm level 33 since our last sponsored video. I've unlocked so many cool new champions inspired by WoW. Look at that. And we still got so much more to collect. Why not even buy all of these 3 things here? Boom, easy. We got guild battles, we got arena battles, we got a lot of content in here. There are multiple free events going on throughout the week, as you can see, and there's a few free chests available every few hours to help you get some awesome loot. But speaking of free loot, click that gear button in the top right. Use promo code, click that, slap in foxysw for you to get $10 worth of free loot to help you get started power farm in this game. But wait, it only works up until level 15, so make sure you use it before then. Alright, Hot Garbage Squad, let's get into this guide. But if you want to support this video, make sure you drop a like and a comment. If you really want to support the channel, use the description and download Dragon Champions, because really, I've been having a great time in this game. So let's go and talk about siege farming, okay? What is the purpose? Very easy. Do you want to get, are you a free-to-play player? Are you a player with a group of friends that hate doing siege because you see the same Gene Chandra Perna defense over and over again and you get a rind every day? Well, yeah, this is a pitch sale here. Learn to siege farm and get rewards like this, all right? So that's the purpose. Don't base really easy defenses and get rewarded with amazing loot, okay? So let's talk about rewards here. So I showed this picture a little bit earlier, and basically the red boxes here, you will see under G1, I highlighted 23% and 26%. So let me explain to you why I highlighted it this way. So in siege farming, you can rock with 3 players, which you split about 30%, 30%, and 30%. However, it's a lot easier. I mean, a lot easier if you split it 4 ways. So that's 25% on average. Not all the time you'll have even contribution. So that's why I highlighted the 23% and the 26%. So ignore the G3 and G2 column and also the G1 column. For a G1 win, you'll get anywhere from 355 to 383 crystals. Really, that is super good. Still better than what you're receiving now in G1 regular guild. Maybe not in G3, maybe comparable, but the GP difference will be the difference. And that means if you can buy scrolls versus not buying your LD pieces as well. So you're probably gonna ask me, is C3 and C2 farming worth it? Well, if you look at it, you only lose about 100 crystals from G1 to C3 and then 50 crystals from C3 to C2. When you drop to C2 and C3, the sieges are a lot easier. So if you're like a Guardian 1 player, you're probably going to have a little bit more difficulties farming in G1 siege. So maybe you drop to C3 siege and C2 siege. So look at the GP rewards or the crystal rewards here and think to yourself, it's way more than what you're getting now. It's a lot lower effort. It's good content. And also, I don't know how much GP you get because the Excel sheet didn't have it, but you can reference my win here for 1.6K for about 30% contribution here, okay? So you can reference that as well. So let's talk about the requirements of siege farming here. So like I said, I'm suggesting 3 to 4 players here. So you will see in our main roster here, our 3 to 4 player is Joe, Cozy, Dr. Nalga, and me, Foxy here. So if you have alt accounts, it is going to be really, really good because you still have to fill your inner towers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with some fodder defenses because you don't want them to be empty. If they're empty, they're gonna know you're a siege farming guild and they're gonna run you over really easy. So that's one thing to note as well. So another thing here is if you have alts, I highly suggest, if you have like a level 50 alt, a level 40 alt with some like 6-star defenses, slap them inside. So you will see right here, these defenses are trashed here, okay? These are super bad, but should they ever get to their inner bases, these are not 1v3 material, you know? They can't just put a fodder in and beat my 1 defense. So you will see like this defense, for example, super easy. But if you get any alt account that has some form of bad defense, really worth to put in, okay? So let's talk about the guilds as well. So as you know, whenever you win, so you go to battle record. So every win you get is 15. Every lose is 10, and that's coming last place. So mathematically, for every 2 wins, you get 30 points. And then for every 2 loses, you get 20. So you're still going a net of 10. So if you keep in the same guild, you're at the tank and come in 2nd or 3rd and decrease your rewards, or you're gonna lose real hard and get nothing. So the way to mitigate that is you run 3 guilds. Yes, you have to run 3 siege farm guilds. So you'll notice that I'm in Spirit 2. You'll notice I'm sometimes in Spirit 1, Spirit 2, and Spirit 3. That's the reason why I change guilds every week. It needs to decay 30 a week across 3 guilds. You can't use 2 because the math doesn't check out. You'll join up a high. So you'll see my rank is 1120. I gained 15, so that's 1105, which is the end of G1 here. So you want to be at the end, which is 1105 at the time of this video, which is as close to 10% as you can get. That's how you want to rank up your siege guilds and decrease them. You do not want to put them on auto, because if you put them on auto, you're probably going to forget and it's going to hit C3. And when you hit C3, you saw the rewards again. It's 100 crystals that you just lost because you put it on auto. So keep that in mind, okay, guys? All right, and you're probably asking me, well, how do I get 15 members in 3 guilds? Very easy, actually. And I do this method all the time. All you have to do is you go to your guild shop, just be a little bit pay to win. It's a small investment because you're gonna get so much back. Buy a guild megaphone and then just scream, Accepting all players is not a scummy move because I guarantee you half the time everyone just quits. You see this? Hasn't logged day in 677 days. Has not logged in 290 days. These guys just made an account and they quit. I've done this in like 10 plus guilds. They just join and they get bored of the game and they quit. But if you find someone that actually plays the game, do them a favor and just kick them out because you're a siege farm guild. You want players that just quit. And even if they're newer players, you can ask them to make siege defenses to fill in the inner towers as well to help you out, right? So that's the requirements sections covered. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below as well, and I'll try to answer it. Let's talk about tower placements. Like I said, you have 4 players here. I'm assuming 4 players, so that's about what's 40 times whatever amount this is. You got limited defenses. So what I've seen some people do is on the outer ring, that is towers 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, they put 4 towers in. But for myself, I put 5 because I never run the risk of losing. So when you're making siege defenses, in G3, you make defenses that try to win by recycling them. But in G1, I believe that you have to make the defenses hard for them to even, like they can't RNG it and win and hope for a derp. You just have to out room quality them with sustain and a lot of damage and blow them out. So you'll see that I put my defenses are on the, my strongest defenses are on the edge of the towers here. And you'll notice a trend here. These are all Sierra, and a speedly type of defense. The reason being is because you can't solo it, and that's good. Another good example here is, you see we are running all pandas here. So if there's another siege farmer on the other end, and we all know that we all have lives and we can't all attack at the same time unless you're in G3, having the same style of defense will make it very hard for them to solo. So that's how you want to place it. Strong defenses on the outer ring. So if you have someone that's maybe on the weaker side, Conquer 1 and you're all C3, it's a good idea to stack your best player's defense on the outer rings just so you don't get run over. The moment they enter in, you're going to see fodder city unless you have ults. So it's worth it. Even as the best player, it's worth it to sacrifice maybe some defense wins when you expand your towers, because the moment they get into your towers 4, 5, 6, 7, you're gonna get cut. You're gonna get 0. All right. So that's the strategy for tower placements. So now let's talk about the strategy of siege. A very common strategy that you can use and employ is go to battle, type in truce anyone, and the first person you call a truce with, just don't attack them, and then you can just 2v1 the other guy, and as long as the other guild that you're trucing with doesn't have more points than you, you should be fine. But in a scenario they do, you can just cut them off by doing like what I'm doing right here. You go for tower 10, 11, and yellow 12. So yellow 10, yellow 11, yellow 12, you cut them off from bonus and then you win. But you get 20k and 19k, for example. So that's the type of strategy that you can use. Or this is the most easy one and not as more of a scumbag move by trucing per se. But you will see right now. This is the strategy I suggest you use unless you're really weak and you need the truce, okay? You will see right now how many people attacked. Only one person. Joe soloed tower 10. And the reason why you take tower 13 is you only want to be in the bonus. You don't want 14, 15, 16, whatever, because you have limited defenses to put out. So what you do is you attack the person that you think is probably the strongest here, and then that way you take them out of bonus, or you make them take an extra tower to get in bonus. And then you have the red guild here and the yellow guild. They're probably going to duke it out because they see a bunch of wings on these defenses and like, nah, not about that life. I need contribution. So they're going to duke it out. Wait a good few hours for them to, like, look at this. They've already started attacking each other. They're wasting their attacks. The less attacks they have to use on you, the higher chance that you're not going to get run over by some random guy that's super powerful in their guild. And even if they do run you over, let's say they take my tower 10 and they enter towers 5 and 6, they already expended a lot of their attacks on each other. And that way, by having less attacks, they can't just cut you off to take 1, 2, and 3. So that's the strategy you want to do. Be patient. For those guys who don't have time, just be the first person to take tower and get tower 10 and then be in the bonus. The reason why you have to take tower 10 is because should one of them be really strong and let's say yellow runs over red and they take all of their towers and they're in plus 20 range, you need to take tower 10 to cut them off from bonus. Okay, that is the reason why here. So when you're facing other strong guilds here, there's only two things that are going to happen. They're gonna know your siege farmer guild and then run you over, and you're gonna get cut off. And the best way to handle this is accept you're gonna lose, or two, what you want to do is you don't want to attack, you don't want to expand. I can't show you physically because I'm in a siege right now, but let's just say by towers 5, 6, and 2 are taken. The best strategy here is to retake them and try to just sustain what you currently have instead of having 0. That way you can at least be in the, at least you have some form of tower bonus instead of being at 0 because they took your 1, 2, 3 and you're out of attacks. So that's how I would try to approach stronger guilds, or just truce with them in alliance and take second because you can't get first. Okay, so now I'm going to cover Labyrinth and Guild War. So obviously for some of you guys, you're probably wondering, okay, well, I really enjoy doing Labyrinth and getting the memorial gems and blah 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 blah, but honestly 350 crystals per siege is more worth it than getting random gems from the boss. You can still clear as much as possible with your 5 attacks and get the grinds and gems from doing like this. And because your guilds are cycling, they're most likely going to be in the bonus range and you can clear it with one go. So you can still get grinds and gems through clearing it, but not through the boss. And I think that's a good trade-off for your extra crystals. And now you're probably wondering, all right, the biggest topic here is Guild War. If you're siege farming, you can't do Guild War. No, you're totally wrong. Look how many stones I have, okay? Look how many stones I have. I got 8.7k. Dude. And here's how. So this is a Thursday siege. And just to prove it to you, here is Elia. Thursday siege. So you can probably either one, if you go really try hard, you take every tower and you finish on Thursday. But most of you guys will finish on Friday, which leaves you to have time to leave your guild, have the 12-hour timer, and then go to a new guild. So how you want to approach it is you can join a friend's guild. If you're a G3 player or a G2 player, whatever, and you have G3 friends rushing and they have a spot for you, go ahead and join them and you have an opportunity to get stones. However, most of you guys won't have that opportunity. So what I suggest is the week before, use an alt account, whatever account, level 1 account, whatever account you have, create a brand new guild, do that megaphone strategy, or have 10 alternate accounts and make a guild, and then register for Guild War. And by Saturday, you'll have guaranteed 6 swords, and then 10 of all you groupies, you can comment below. You can all make a group here, or join my Discord and find a group, okay? And join a guild with 10 of you. 6 is minimum if you get all wins to get a Guild War win. So join a new guild or an existing guild that's already registered, and you can do your Guild War then. All right, hope that was clear. If it wasn't, I can clarify in the comments with your questions below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a lot of talking and not a lot of action because I can't really show you the theory. I'm going to talk about the strategy involved. And you can kind of see right now the strategy here is they're wasting their attacks on these defenses. And then if yellow goes in hard, I'm going to cut them off. Or the fact that I'm making a line from 10, 11, 12 means that red and yellow have to attack that line and they both can't be in bonus, right? So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and smash that notification button if this video helped you, because that would support the channel so much as well. All right, Foxy out, guys.